So show me what I'm looking for. Save me, I'm lost. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for you. I'll pay any cost. Save me from being confused.
When answering the question at hand, one cannot deny the fact that it actually opens up the door for the actual subject of divorce. And while that is not our subject at hand here this time, it is important to note that when Jesus addresses it in Matthew 5 and Matthew 19, he is certainly not interested in having couples or marriages break up. Nonetheless, leaving that aside, the whole subject of divorce does give us and shed some light onto the question that we need to answer, which gives us a cultural context of understanding how it was that wives were looked upon really as the inferior one in the couple, and so they were looked upon as property, and that's why it always seemed like it was the husband that always had the right to put away the wife. Nonetheless, it always was the case that the wife also had the legitimacy of being able to put away her husband, but it just, in the culture itself, it just wasn't practiced. Paul, however, when he addresses this issue of putting away a spouse in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, he's dealing with the subject of Jewish couples converting to Christianity, and he says, "This I command," and in reality, he's saying, "This what I'm going to say, I say it of the Lord." And God himself, he's saying this, "Let not the wife depart from her husband." So it's a very clear thing that it's declared at that point that God is not interested in having the wife leave the husband for the reason that he is now, or he's still an unbeliever, and she is now converted. But in verse 15, he says, "If the unbelieving depart, let him depart. For a brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases, for God has not called us. God has called us into peace." So what he's saying is, in this case, if the husband does leave, then the wife is she's in her right to allow him to leave. It doesn't really state put him away or divorce him. I mean, he's leaving, he's walking out. Does he end up divorcing her? Probably. It opens up the door for many possibilities. So in that sense, a wife is given that permission to do so, and under those kinds of arrangements. I pray that your marriages do succeed and that they are blessed, and we are continuing to pray many blessings upon your family.